You see the title, you see the thumbnail. Landlords requiring you make 3 times the rent to get approved. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. Let's get into the clips.
Y'all can say what y'all want to say. These apartments, houses, is ridiculous. How do they want you to make 3 times the rent to rent an apartment? That means if the apartment is $1,500, you must make $4,500 per month in order to qualify for that apartment. Y'all can quit with the shenanigans because the USA is overrated. It's nothing but a debt trap. We can start with the loans, the mortgages, the credit card bills, the car companies, the banks. We can go there.
Not sure if it's I agree with her on the point about being a debt trap. At the end of the day, no one forces you to sign up for debt. It is encouraged though. I mean, through social media, and other outlets, they do push consumption, 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 consume, consume, consume. So that does contribute to people signing up for a lot of debt to keep up with the Joneses. But again, no one forces you to go in debt. Now, as far as this 3x the rent, it's kind of insane because actually in some locations, the actual 3x the rent that these landlords are looking for is more than what the average person in that city or location is actually making. And when you think about it like that, that's kind of insane.
I just read the funniest comment on TikTok, right? It was like, why do apartments make us gotta make 3 times the rent just to stay here? Baby, if I was making 3 times the rent, I wouldn't be renting. I know that's right. I know that's right. Cause what? If I made 3 times the cost of my apartment, baby, I wouldn't be renting. My apartment cost $1,600. So if I made 1,600 times 3, baby, I better not be in no apartment renting.
Man, it's the lip piercings and baby hair for me. Again, it's getting so bad out here with the 3 times the rent. They literally have people creating CPNs.
Go to federal prison as soon as I turn 18, all because I wanted to use a CPN. A lot of y'all might already know what a CPN is, but if y'all don't know what a CPN is, basically a CPN, kind of like a fake social security number, and it's for people that either got felonies on their background, they don't got good credit, or I don't know. You really don't even have to have all of those. You can just use the CPN if you wanted to, but you use the CPN in order to get into apartments, credit cards, all of that type of shit. You get it. So when I turned 18, no, it was when I was 17. So I was 17 trying to be thirsty to move out of my mom's crib, right? So I wasn't old enough. I didn't have no credit, nothing of that sort at all. I just wanted to move out and be grown. Like, I was just thirsty to be grown. So I knew this dude that stayed next door to me, and he was always telling me how he was a hood realtor. Like, he knew how to get motherfuckers into places.
Red flag number one, doing business with anyone who calls himself a hood realtor.
Just like that. You ain't even need no credit score, none of that, all of that type of shit. I asked him what was the whole thing, like, how is you doing it? He was like, oh, it's just a CPN, bro. Everybody be doing these bitches, whoop, whoop. You know, you be seeing all the motherfuckers on YouTube, and they be in high rises and cribs. They all do CPN. So I'm like, damn, like, he might know what he be talking about, because it's like, it gotta be a way and reasons to how all these young ass kids are always in these nice ass cribs. So me, I'm like, all right, bet. What you want? So he wanted $3,500 for him to. $3,500 was for everything. Like, it was gonna be for the move in, all of that. Then I was gonna be paying my next month rent. So I give him the $3,500. After I give him the $3,500, I go move into the place. Everything was good at first, like keys, all of that. Everything was straight. So here come the third month. Like, this is the third month, third time I'm paying rent. I had woke up real quick. I was finna quick just go walk the dogs. So I'm getting ready to let the dogs out the cage. As I'm walking down the hallway, I'm already hearing the dogs barking and shit. And they only bark when somebody at the door. So I'm like, who the fuck at the door? I go and look out the peephole. It's like detectives, motherfuckers in suits and shit. I'm thinking they at the wrong door. I'm not really thinking they here for anything of that CPN shit. Cause he didn't even really let me know that it was some illegal shit. I'm thinking it was just some, I don't know, I was young, I was just trying to move out. That's it, that's all. So then I open up the door. They asked me, am I Alex Mason? I'm like, no, I'm not. He like, okay, where is the owner or the leaseholder of this apartment? So I'm like, me? Like, me? And then he was like, and you're not Alex. I'm like, no, because I was confused. Like, I'm not Alex. Then he asked me what my name was, and I told them my real name. Because, I don't know, I was just confused, young, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. I tell him my real name, give him my date of birth, all that type of shit. Then next you know, that's when they say that dumbass, your hands behind your back, you have the right to all that type of shit. So me, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how is this happening? What the fuck? Like, whoa, whoa. So as we up in the car, I'm over here asking like, what did I do? I haven't done nothing. I've never been in trouble before. I'm confused. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is this happening? Like, I'm so confused. Can I call my mom? Can y'all let me know something? And then
Now he want to call moms, even though at the beginning of the story he was very pressed to move out from her house because he wanted to be grown.
the officer said, you know what you was doing. Stop playing dumb. Identity theft of a deceased person. I'm like, what the fuck? So it's 1 + 1 equaling 2 right now. I'm like, just thinking like, damn, it got something to do with how he got me in this apartment. It got to.
You think so?
So I get there, I get to calling my mom. I'm like, Mom, like, I don't know why they locking me up. They talking about some identity theft of a deceased person. I don't know. She instantly like, that was that motherfucking boy. Whoa, all this other and third. Hold the fuck on. No, all that and third. Me, I'm already one of them people that instantly accept what the fuck going on. Like, I already done been through enough. It is what it is. So I'm telling my OG, like, it's cool, like, I already know what's going on. Like, you ain't even gotta do all that, just calm down. Whoa. Boom, fast forward 5 more months, I had my sentencing, and they sentenced me 4.5 years. Mind you, during the sentencing, I was just turning from 17 to 18. So I was up in prison for 4.5 years. All because I was trying to be mature and thirsty and to move the fuck out of my mom's shit.
Think about how crazy this was. If he literally just would have stayed home, obviously he was making some type of money because he was 17 years old and had $3,500. So he obviously had some type of way he was making money, whether it was illegal or not. He simply could have probably got a place that would have took a chance on him with no credit, especially maybe if he could have got maybe his mom to co-sign. But he decided to go with a guy who called himself a hood realtor and get this man $3,500 and really thought nothing of it. Again, we got to make smarter decisions. And also parents, we got to, as a parent, you got to be able to put your hand around your child and guide them. Because even though 17, these kids may think they're grown, but I mean, this dude didn't really wrecked his whole life. Federal prison for identity fraud and whatever else they hit him with, all because he wanted to move out at 17.
Because they don't want low-income families in their apartments, not for any type of reason.
Y'all, coming from somebody in the industry, that is false. Actually, we can't legally do that due to fair housing laws. That is called discrimination. However, the reason we do that, hold on, we even do that. I've been at some communities where we do a tax break for the owner and we'll do 20% low income in certain areas. I did it in Seattle, Washington. However, they still have to make 3 times the rent. Now it may be lowered, but they still have to make 3 times whatever rent we discounted for that 20% of the building. That is not true. We do it because we want to make sure you can pay your rent and your other bills and your livelihood. When you go to a car dealership, you gotta make a certain amount of money. When you go buy a house, you gotta make a certain amount of money. When you apply for a credit card, they're only gonna give you a limit based on how much money you make. It's not because we want low income families. Please, y'all come over here, just make 3 times that rent.
Let me know how you feel about the 3 times the rent. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments below.
The thing I never understood that apartments be asking for from people when they get ready to apply for a unit is, oh, we want you to make 2 to 3 times the rent. Why the hell do you want me to make 2 to 3 times the rent if I'm gonna only be paying one rent price? What does all this extra other rent money make sense for if I'm gonna only be like, maybe it's just something I'm not understanding because I might be a little slow. But what 2 to 3 times gonna do for you? So you can try to pocket watch me so you can know how much money I got? No, ma'am.
I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with pocket watching, but like the guy mentioned in the other clip, they want to make sure you have enough funds to pay the rent on time consistently. Again, if you're barely making, if the apartment is 1,500 and you're only grossing, $2,500 after taxes, you're barely going to have enough money to pay the rent. And then you got to, obviously you're going to have utilities, you're going to have food, you're going to have, I mean, all laundry list of expenses that are going to come along. And they don't want you to be in a position where you're choosing either to pay the rent in full or eat.
Went like apartment shopping, especially in the Atlanta, surrounding areas, and they be like, you got to make 3 times the rent.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and then you be like, well, okay, how much the rent? They be like, oh, just $7,000.
It does not make sense to me.
The crazy thing is people be getting approved. So you mean to tell me people out here making $21,000 a month? Because I'm gonna lie and tell them, yeah, that's what they asked me.
Who bills are that much for an apartment?
You saying just the rent alone?
No, just the rent plus bills. If I get paid twice a month, I'm not spending 2 checks on bills. So like rent would be $1,800. That's one check. You're really spending only about $600 in bills. So that's $2,400 you could live off of. Why do I need
$30,000 a month?
$30,000 for this 900-foot square apartment?
Then the fact that they be believing people and approving people.
Dog, I'm not even gonna be here half the time, dog, because I gotta work 10 hours a day.
And you see what I just got out of? You see my car outside? Do it look like I make $38,000 a month? Yeah, come on, man. I don't have to prove to you every month that I make the 3 times the rent. So why does it matter in the beginning?
If I can pay the rent, bro.
If I pay you the deposit, first month rent, and last month rent, that show you I got money. That's 3 times right there. I can pay the rent.
But you know good and darn well, being a receptionist at a doctor's office, I'm not making $6,000 a month. Like, come
That's why
on, relax.
Just tell them you make it. They gonna be like, so you make 3 times the rent? Yes. And what do you do for a living? I work at Sky Zone.
Right.
Like the fact that they need your pay stubs, all of that shit, you got to pay for the application. Like, bro, that shit's just a money scheme. I don't get it.
Again, some of these places, especially some of these newly built luxury apartments, when they're struggling to get renters in there, I honestly believe these leasing agents look the other way and people are applying with fake pay stubs, CPNs, and whatever other else finesses you got out there just to get some of these units occupied.
Hello?
Ho, the things that you've lied about, even pertaining to your mom, you don't want them out, okay? Now, since you think it's funny to speak about people's families, we'll all join in.
Like, clearly this was a skit, but long story short, man, just do things the right way and you don't have to worry about getting a knock on your door from the police.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? So today, just quick topic, why people get arrested using CPNs, right? I feel like I gotta make a video like this like every month because people ask me this question all the time. The number one reason why people get arrested using CPNs is because the way that they decode the number and the way they skip trace the number to make sure that the number is not attached to like an alive or a dead person, they're not doing the right methods to go ahead and validate that information. So what's basically happened is, as you've seen with the lady that was in Care Credit, the people that be at the dealership, shit like that, is that, they're getting, booked for identity theft. You know what I'm saying? Because they're using someone else's profile that's either alive or dead to go ahead and apply for, financial products, which obviously we know constitutes identity theft. So I just wanted to come back on here just to say it again. Y'all probably gonna see a video like this from me like every month because people ask me this shit all the time. But that is the number one reason why people go to jail for using CPNs. That's really it.
The long and short of it, stay far, far away from CPNs.
Justifiable excuse that they was charging people 3 times the rent to move in, or require that you make 3 times the what? 3 times the what?
It's not in 2024. Not maybe back in 2006, 2001. Not in 2024. Could you imagine having to come up with almost 10K to move in or 10K to be accepted into a rental unit? So yeah, starting July 1st, y'all, that's in a few short days, these landlords can no longer ask the tenant for 3 times the rent anymore. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what y'all gonna do. So let me know what you think about this. Do you think they're gonna find other ways or loopholes to either block people from renting? Do you think they're gonna just increase the rent to recoup what they're not getting up front? As some people are predicting already over on Instagram that these landlords and property rental units and property management companies are going to start getting slick about how they do things after July 1st.
Okay, from my understanding of this rule, again, they can't charge you first month's, last month's, and security, but you still actually have to make 3 times the rent to still qualify. So again, if the apartment is $2,000, you will need to make at least $6,000 a month, which is $72,000 a year on paper, to be able to rent that apartment. The thing is, they just won't be able to charge you for a security deposit, again, last month's rent and first month's rent. So you won't have to be, it'll be illegal for them to charge you $6,000 up front, is my understanding of this ruling. Let me know in the comments below if I'm correct or not. Again, let me know how you feel about this 3x the rent rule. Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's just? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.